Hello everyone. What we're going to do today is go over Google Hangouts on Air. And really what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and show you how to start one up. Now, this assumes a couple different things. One, that you have a Gmail account. Two, that you have activated your Google Plus. And the third thing that it assumes is that you have a YouTube channel. Now, the reason you need a YouTube channel is because Google Hangout on Air allows people to come in and ask questions and is a lot like a webinar series, but the cool thing about it is once you're done, it automatically saves it to your YouTube account. So you have to have a YouTube that it can be associated with. Now, as far as having the Gmail or also having the Google Plus, which is this little thing right in the top left-hand corner, Google will prompt you to do that. So if you don't have those, they will prompt you along the way. But we want to make certain that you have the YouTube account, because without that, you're going to have to stop and go back and make a YouTube account. So the first thing you do is come over to the other side, the right-hand side. Click on Sign In and go ahead and pull up your Gmail account and type it in. And I'm using the GamesMook one. So now what appears over here is my name, and then this bell tells me I have a couple new messages, and then over here also is a little icon that I use for the GamesMook. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come back over to the left-hand side where it has my name. And this is Google Plus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, and this brings up my Google Plus account. But what I'm really looking for Google Hangouts is I'm coming over here to Home, and see how I just scrolled over it and it just popped up, and it's giving me lots of different options. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click on Hangouts on Air. And now we come over to the Hangouts on Air page. Now, anyone can do a Hangout on Air. And I'm going to scroll down this a little so you can see parts of it. You'll see that there's different shows that are currently going on. And these are people who are doing it live. And I will tell you, a Google Hangout, by its very nature, is public, so that anybody who wants to can go ahead and jump in. And you're seeing lots of pictures from webcams. You don't necessarily have to use a webcam. A lot of people do. And like this one, this person's using a picture or some sort of video, and Social Media Snack is using a screen share. I use screen shares mainly, and mainly because for me, when I'm doing Google Hangouts, I'm doing them to show some people something that is on the internet or in a game. Now, to get started, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the button that says Start a Hangout on Air. Now, if this is your first time doing a Google Hangout on the computer you're on, it is possible that they may ask you to just go ahead and click and install a Google app. I've seen on our campus computers that sometimes it's necessary and sometimes it's not. It'll all depend. And it'll also depend on the settings in your computer. Okay, so we're here. Now they want some information. Name this. Let's call it Testing 1. Then this next portion lets me add names or circles or email addresses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to invite some other email accounts that I have. So you can put up to 10 people, and then that means that they show up underneath the screen. And the other thing it lets you do is if you're already in Google Plus and you have circles and things like that, or if you want to invite the public so anybody could just come in, you can go ahead and do that. So the information goes there. It says your YouTube account is connected to your Google Plus page. So that means it's automatically going there. And then I want to start this Hangout on Air. So I'm pulling it up, and what it's doing on the top, and it says it's preparing the broadcast. So that means it's getting it ready. So the minute you go in, usually it won't start up. It usually takes, I'd say about 30 seconds, sometimes a minute, for it to actually come through and to actually make it so that you can then go ahead and you can broadcast. Now, put very simply, is if I want to add someone else, I can use this invite people. The next thing is the toolbox. You can check that out later on your own. The third thing is what I already have open here on the right hand side. This chat that I can toggle back and forth. This is where I can type. And the only people who see what's happening on the side are the people actually in Hangout. So the public broadcast wouldn't see something like this. There's some other cool features like screen share. If I want to go ahead and I want to share my screen, and I'll click on that, and I have another YouTube account up, and I can, as you can see, I can go ahead and share the screen. I'm going to come back now. Now I can do a questions and answer session, and I can show that up. It's opening this up, and this shows up over in the right hand corner. You absolutely have to do this before the broadcast. They will not let you do it otherwise. And what it does is people who are also logged in, and usually it means logged into their YouTube accounts, but they could be watching in other ways, that they can go ahead and ask you questions. Now this next thing here is called capture. That means I can take pictures of the screen capture. The next one is cameraman, where I can play around some more. And then there's some other additional things. So to start this Hangout, very simple. Oh, and I want to warn you about this top up here. This first thing here is the microphone, and I can mute the microphone, and if I had someone else here, let them talk. Now there's a camera. If you have a webcam, it almost automatically turns on. So if you don't want to be seen on the broadcast, don't make sure you turn it off. Some other things are you can adjust the band with usage. There's some settings you can play around it, and if you just want to leave, that's the exit button right there, and that stops everything. So to get started, all you have to do is you click on that start button, and it gives you this warning. You click OK, and then it's telling you you're posting. It's usually 10 to 15 seconds, and then you just get started.